Hey guys, and welcome back to Latasha Hewitt Homes. On this channel, we talk about all things home cleaning, home organizing, home decorating, and a little bit of life in between. So if you haven't subscribed already, consider doing so. If you've been here already, thanks for coming back. Well, today we're going back to the pink stuff. I've done a couple of videos on using the pink stuff to clean my oven. And every time I do so, some of you leave some awesome suggestions. One of them was that, and I know it, I use entirely too much of the paste to clean the oven. So we only have this amount left, and we're gonna use this to clean the oven. So I'm going out of the country. Woo! Of course, I'll be vlogging that, so check it out. And my mom is coming to stay at my home. And so of course I was like, I have to have a fresh oven for mom, right? Like that's only right. And so we're gonna try doing this cleaning using a little less than I have in the past. Another suggestion that you all gave me was to take the door of the oven off to make it a little easier to clean. So we're gonna try that with the hopes that it will go back on as easily as it comes off. If not, I'll have hubby on standby. So if you're interested in seeing how the cleaning works with making those two adjustments, stay tuned right now. All right, guys, so first things first, let's get this door off of the oven. So from what I can tell, I need to just lift up and pull out. So I haven't tried this before now, so hopefully this goes smoothly. Let's get started. Oh, before I do that, definitely have to have you take a look at the current state of the oven. So this is what the door is looking like, and this is what the bottom's looking like. So this is our proper before. We're gonna take the door off, and then we'll take out the racks. So let's get to that. So I'm lifting up. There it is, guys. That was really simple to do. I hope it's as simple to get it back on. All right, guys, so here we have the oven, which I think I'm just gonna lay right here on the countertop to clean. But then we also have this part. I don't know why I did not think of this sooner, right? But this is why I love all of you in the comments, my subscribers, my viewers who give me more effective ways to do things. So it makes it so much easier to just get in here and clean without the door being in the way. And you can see how it rests in there. All right, guys, we've got some work to do, hey? So what I like to do is just do a quick little wipe with some soapy water just to get all of the extra debris from the bottom of the oven before adding the paste. So let's do that now. So what I'm thinking is, because this is almost like putty now, I just took, it's a little wet from the sponge. I'm taking this and kind of just spreading it a little bit. It's a little thicker than it typically is, like when you first get it, but because I've had it for a few months, it really became like a real putty. So we're really going to use this as kind of a little bit of an abrasive type of application. Once again, we're not going to use as much. I was just trying to think of that S word, smothering it, plastering it all over the place. But this time we're using less just to see the effect. So as I'm spreading it out, it's thinning a little bit. So I'm just going to continue spreading it until really you can't see much of the pink. So that it's kind of spread out. So you saw how much I used, which was just probably a spoonful of it, and now I'm spreading it out thinner. And the more it loosens up, the more it spreads. I'm just gonna get a nice coat Definitely much more modest coat than previously. And like I said, you spread all the way out. I typically concentrate just on the bottom areas here, but you know, we'll also put a little on the sides as well. And I'm just amazed that that little piece of that I used, how it's spreading very wide. So you really don't need a lot. So that's the good thing about trying something over again. You find better methods of doing it. So let's try the other side now. And let me tell you guys, just using a little bit can go so much farther, and it makes the cleanup easier, because in my previous videos there's just so much soaps and suds, and it's because I was using way too much of the product. So like I said, we're just giving everything a little bit of a coat. It's spread out like that, and this is pretty much all we need. Okay, and we're gonna go and wet this sponge and come back and just wipe up what we've done here. So guys, I was washing dishes prior to this, so I still have the soapy water from that, so I'm going to use that as I rinse out the bottom now. So let's come back over here. Buttress the top, and let's start wiping this up. Okay, see how it's already, once we add a little bit of water, it's adding a little bit of like a matte soapy, but so much better than what I have used in the past in terms of the amount of suds. So we're going to do a quick little finish wiping of this and come back and look at the finished product. So that was so much easier than in times past. One, I didn't have to use so much paste. Well, let me start off with one. The door's not in my way, so there's not awkwardness to get to the other. Yeah, and secondly, like I said, not using as much paste makes it so much easier to clean because it's not so soapy that you have to make several trips. Also, this paste has absolutely like no smell, so no one in the house would know that I'm cleaning the oven right now. There's not like that strong odor permeating the kitchen and the whole house, so it just feels very clean and environmentally safe. So I like that. So first, this went well. I mean, there's still a few spaces that could use a little attention, which I will go back over that, but overall, just that quick little wipe of the paste and just wiping it off, it looks pretty good. Like I said, I'll spend a little bit more attention on that. Don't worry about that right now. But next we're going to move to our door over here. Like, that is so filthy, but now I can clean it a lot better because I'm going to put it on top of the countertop, and we're going to use the paste on this as well. All right, guys, so here it is. And it feels like the door of the oven gets a little dirtier than even the bottom of the oven sometimes. So just having it's not flat, of course, because of the handle, but it definitely makes an easier surface to clean. So thank you for that suggestion to just take the door off. It didn't take long to take it off, but now we're gonna take the time to spread some of the paste on here. Once again, not using so much, and then just wiping that off just like we did the inside of the oven. Okay, so the oven door is a little bit more like caked on, it feels like, than even the bottom of the oven. So I actually just use my fingers. Some people like to use gloves for things. I like to feel things. So I just put this amount. I'll show you this amount of paste that I'm going to put in the middle, and my goal is to be able to use that to spread out across the door. We're going to come back to our sponge, and we're just going to use that. It's moistened. That helps loosen up the paste to be able to spread it around. And I think we will have enough to not just get the glass portion, but also this perimeter here. Just spreading it out. So that's one note. The paste does spread pretty easily, so you have no need to use the amount of paste that I was using before. I think I just felt like it needed a lot in order to accomplish some of the big tasks of cleaning an oven, but that's not the case. The paste goes a long way, and that's why it can be in this small container, but you can still utilize it multiple times. So I am going to just put a little bit more here so I can go into these areas, little padded areas, which were hard to get to before. If I can find the person who commented this in one of my previous videos, I'm going to come back and let you know that I did this and to give you a big thank you, because this is life changing. I don't know about you guys, but I dread cleaning things when I think about the amount of time or energy it's going to take me to get them done. So I like this because it was easy to take the door off. It's easy to clean it now because of where it is. And so here is it now saturated with a nice coat of the paste. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a moment, and then we're gonna go through our process again. Okay, so guys, I wanted you to see it from a different angle, but here's that thin coating of the paste. So sometimes you could barely see it, really. Another thing I'm gonna do, I put some of the paste around this edge here, which also gets really dirty. I'm going to use a toothbrush. I'm going to get my toothbrush, and we're going to use that to kind of work the paste in with some water and give that a nice clean. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, so we're coming back over with the sponge. I will say last time I used a different sponge that had a little bit more abrasion to it, which really helps cake up, bring up what's caked on here. So I will say make sure you have something that's not too harsh, but has a little bit of roughness to it to be able to break up whatever is soaked into the oven door. So yeah, we're just using some water to loosen up the paste now that it's sat on there for a minute or so, and helping to just agitate some of that built-in dirt that just sticks to the glass door, the glass portion of the door. So we're just putting this on. Once again, because I did not use a lot of the paste, it's not overly soapy as it has been in the past. So we are happy about that. Happy, happy, happy. And then I did bring the toothbrush to go over this portion, which is more of like a cloth material, fabric material. So we're gonna keep this going. All right, guys, so now we're going over this portion with a toothbrush. I just wet it a little bit. So we're cleaning in between the crevice here where some of the paste. This is probably paste from last time. Paste from last time I cleaned it that just had nowhere to go. But yeah, this toothbrush is really handy to kind of get those pieces out and be able to give the door a good scrub. So I recommend, this is also an addition to what I've done in the past, to doing that. So we're just going to do that a couple more times, wet it with the toothbrush and clean up this area so it looks a little bit more its natural color. We're just going to go around the perimeter. This is what the glass looks like so far. So there are still some spots on there. That's because I didn't really use a heavily abrasive sponge. I didn't have one, but you can see my nail, it comes right off. So the paste does definitely help soften it, but you're gonna need a little something to help pull it up once it's been softened by the paste. But even without that, I don't know if you guys remember, this was so dirty that you couldn't even see through it, but now you can see the hand towel. So even with that quick wipe, it did pick up a lot of the grease and grime that was on the door. But right now I'm going to focus on this, and then we'll come back to try to get up some of that residual oil and caked on grease. Okay. Still wiping the paste into this. Also coming around the inside edges where maybe previously old, see, this is my fault, guys, because I couldn't see it because of the way the door was. I'm pretty sure this is like old pink stuff caked in from the last time I did the cleaning. But see, this is why it's also really important to use things that are not chemical, that won't harm you, because this stuff is like baking into whatever you may have in the oven. So this is really helping me give the door a proper clean, and this is what the toothbrush is looking like. I don't share with you the sink, but a lot of dirt and grease has come up in that. So like, even though you look at it and say, oh, it doesn't look spotless, it really did pick up a lot of the built-in dirt. I have not cleaned this probably since that last video, to be honest, like besides from wiping it, but I haven't done this type of cleaning. So it might be good depending on how often you use your oven to do this monthly. Some maids do it more than that, but you're really getting a lot of the dirt in there. Look at this that we're picking up with this toothbrush. So definitely get yourself a toothbrush. We're gonna keep rinsing this off. And then we're going to wrap this up, guys, so we can put the door back on and look at the finished product. All right, guys, so you remember this part of the oven. This is another little hack I wanted to try. Since I don't have a really good scouring pad right now, is to ball up some aluminum foil. So I did that. I had already put some extra paste on here. And you guys remember what it looked like. So I'm just going over it with the aluminum foil to break up some of that caked on, and this is where it likes to pool, and it's coming right up and it's smooth. So if you're like me and you don't have the scouring pad ready, but you do have the aluminum foil, this is the way to go. Easy peasy. These things you already have in your home, and I know this method can be used to clean your cooking sheets, your baking pans as well. So that worked perfectly, and I'm rubbing my finger across it. It's still just as smooth, so this will work well. We're going to try it on the door now, but just wanted to share that with you. Okay, so we're going to use the same method that we used at the bottom of the oven. The thing is, you have to like move the foil around so that it has the sharp edges, because that's what's going to help break it up. So I just put a little bit more of the paste on there, and we're just taking it with the aluminum foil and going over those tough stains, those spots that, you know, don't stick out. Now, if I did this a little bit more frequently, like I was saying, try to do it more monthly as opposed to every 4 to 6 months. You may not have to do this every time if you're just using the paste with it and wiping. It will be easier. So we have used our aluminum foil. Look at that. Came right up. Of course, it's hard to see the spots, but this hack works, guys. If you're like me, like I said, and you don't always have the scouring pads or this portion of the sponge, see how, like I said, I was going to throw this away. So there's not much abrasion there. And so just using what I already have to get this done, using the same method on the glass door is working well. The pink stuff does help break it up for you, so it doesn't require a whole lot of arm power or arm strength, but this is definitely helpful. It's funny how you use this aluminum foil for your ovens to put things in it to bake and whatnot, and now it's actually great to use it to clean. Like I said, you just have to remember to flip it over so that you're always dealing with a portion that hasn't been smoothed over by the rubbing. So we're going to continue doing this, and then we'll see how it looks in the end. All right, guys, we are drying it off after going over it. Look at that. Let me tell you, that foil really does the trick. Add it. I dare say you start off with that. I think every time I do this, I'm perfecting it. But it looks so much better, even the glass and the door. Guys, we now know what to do. All right, guys, now comes the tricky part. Getting the oven door back on. So it lines up, but you gotta line up both sides at the same time. This has to be just right. All right, guys, I successfully got it back on. Took my time, just dropped it back down, and now it's fine. We have a clean oven door and a clean oven thanks to the pink stuff and a little aluminum foil for the win. All right, guys, that wraps up our pink stuff oven clean using some slightly different methods. One of the things we did was we took the door off, life changer. One of the other things we did was to use less paste, let it spread out. Life changer, saves so much time in wiping it up. And the third thing that we did that just came in the midst of me doing this was using aluminum foil to help break up some of those more baked in, caked in stains in the oven. So I'm so happy. Took me a fraction of the time. Now I have a clean oven ready to welcome all the good things that my mom will cook for my daughters while we're gone. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching this video. If you have other suggestions about how to improve the process, please let me know. Oh, and I forgot I did use the toothbrush as well. So that also helped. So hope that this helped you determine whether you want to use the pink stuff to help clean your oven. I definitely think it's a plus. I love the fact that it has no smell, that, it's very mild, but very powerful with a little added help. So I definitely will use it again. All right, guys, thanks for watching. And if you want to see how I improved over time, and I'm so sorry if you can hear the dishwasher, we're trying to get a lot of things done today. But if you want to see how I've improved this process over the course of using it, I'll put the links to my previous pink stuff oven cleaning videos in the description. Thanks for watching, guys. Please don't forget to like this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps the channel. And let me know, like I said before, any other ways that you suggest that we improve this process. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.